In this video, we share short clips from episode 1 of our Love and Marriage series of how Andrew and Shantrecia had chose to put God first in a relationship since they were teenagers in high school. They also collectively had chose to make sure that God would remain the foundation of their marriage, their family, and their wealth building. So, after 10 years of courting and 10 years of marriage with 3 children, we can say that their love and marriage is still growing strong today. You can hear the full live interview on our Love and Marriage playlist here on the channel. Oh, and by the way, please overlook the noise of the children in the background. They are our family, you know. Hope you enjoy.
And in life, it's about being able to endure from a strong foundation. Like when I called my dad, if I was going through any circumstance or situation in school, he would give me the scriptures. So Psalms 23, Psalms 91, he would empower me and equip me. And Teresa was on the same, we was on the same lines. We have to build a foundation to build a family. I think a lot of people build families with no foundation, and then you wonder why you crack. So if you don't have the fortitude of the educational mentality, then how are you going to be able to troubleshoot? Because all a relationship is troubleshoot.
I'm completely in alignment with what he's saying. I think the beautiful thing about us is that we both had very strong visions as it related to our futures. And like he said, we were on one accord with what that vision looked like and sound like. So I think with having that vision at the forefront of our minds, it was just easy to stay focused to make sure that we each accomplish our individual goals, so that when we are in a position to come together as a couple, as a married couple, we'll be both be contributing to that future or that vision that we had laid out or God had laid out for us. So it was easy to stay focused because we had our eyes on the prize. Yes.
It's okay, 11 years married. Now, but it seems there were 2 key things that were very vital to your relationship. And that one was discipline, and 2, God. You kept God in the equation. Am I correct on my assessment?
No, you're
correct. 100%.
So I think that is essential for all couples that are out there or those who are looking to get into relationships, is that those are 2 essential principles. And what you're looking at here and what you see right here is prime examples of what type of relationship and marriage that you can have and the success in which that you would need in them if you be disciplined as well as you keep God in the forefront of your relationship. Go ahead.
So this question really is for both of you. And Teresa, we're going to start with you. How did you know he was the one?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
When people get together under extenuating circumstances and it wasn't ordained by God, because remember, God is the key of timing, right? So if you say your prayers and you say your desires, then you wait on God and the Spirit of God to guide your life circumstance. Because I feel like there's no mistakes, right? So if you're supposed to meet somebody, then God will make spiritual exponential situations happen where your paths will cross, right? Because when God made Teresa to me, there's no man that can compete with me, right? So now you're not on the level of competition, but you're just on the level of manifestation. Like, can you be the best version of you for your spouse that you can be? And that's what keeps you in shape, and that's what keeps you grinding and working hard and being honorable to your family, because you have something that's once in a lifetime, right? So I think a lot of people make a mistake because they had an opportunity, they fumbled the bag, so to speak, and then now you made a unique and easy situation for the next humble servant of God to pick it up.
Come on.
What was essential for you? Something that you realized as her husband, you had to step up to the plate. You had to do, let's say.
It's probably just being the spiritual anchor, right? So, I mean, I know what God promised me. So, I've been in enough circumstances and situations to know that, just because you don't see God's manifestation when you want it doesn't mean that God ain't manifest And every day is a spiritual battle, and the devil, he just wants to win again. Real estate in your mind, and if you realize that your mind is your most powerful, creative place of manifestation, then you have to stay.
Wow.
You have to stay calm, reserved, and faithful and fruitful. You got to guard your mind, because your mind is a gateway to your heart, right? So you have to be careful who you listen to. We had doctors talking like rubbish. We immediately rebuke them. We get rid of them, throw them in the trash. You know what I'm saying? We go and we find a Christian doctor. As far as even my son, teachers, they not talking in the spirit. You rebuke them. You throw them in the trash. You go and you get qualified spiritual teachers, doctors, lawyers, whatever you're going through. Make sure that your team is biblically Bible-based, faith-driven,
Come on.
and testimony-driven. And what's crazy is everything we've ever gone through, God has given us testimony-driven empowerment through that practice, through that system, whether it's education, whether it's even getting our team for real estate. Like, everybody is on the same page, and when you have that environment, then you're looking forward to what God has next. I think too many people focus on. Hold on one second. You wanna say hi, man? Say hi, Nana. So when you're in a situation like that, the first thing that you do is you gotta go through prayer. It might be necessary to go through your normal feeling or normal resolve of disappointment, but then you get immediately into that word, right? You get immediately to that battle zone, and you prepare for the next greatest position, feat, and empowerment that God has for you. So and I'm one to keep moving, right? So I mean, for me, it's always like, is my wife straight? I don't. Oh, okay. Is my wife straight? Does she wanna, have? Because women are more conversational.
Right.
Does she need to have conversations? So it's being very supportive. And I heard, And I heard talking about the support just as being a spouse when the wife is pregnant. It's different, Hey, listen, I'm not gonna say that she didn't critique me or tell me that she had greater needs and expectations, and as a man, you just don't take it personal. Again, it's good feedback. Just like what a man needs, a woman doesn't know. Hey, that's why that communication is a key factor. And you just be there tangibly, and you receive the feedback, and then you implement it. Again, action for me.
So you had to adjust. You had to make adjustments as a man.
Absolutely. And it's going to vary person by person.
Right.
It's going to vary person by person. So every man is not going to have the same needs, because every personality of a man is not the same.
Well, that's good. That's good information.
Because their personality is different. So you have to, and then every pregnancy is totally different, right? So influx, I knew we had a daughter, because to me, she was a lot more sassy with the second pregnancy than she was with Drew. I knew there was a different load of hormones in there, right? And when they told me that I had a daughter, I said, of course I got a daughter. Of course I got a daughter. So
and your daughter have that same sassiness right now.
Oh yeah. That she is right there. Y'all talk about it.
See, you all have shared so much great wisdom. I got one more question though.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Because young people need to realize this, especially those who are in a relationship. And I guess I'm gonna ask this question, and then you can answer it in whatever way you feel the need. But you did not come to know your wife until after you were married, correct?
Oh yeah.
So that means you all in a relationship for 10 years. 10 years. And you never knew your wife.
Right. But so, I was blessed because my brothers were the lover boys, and I saw them boys. They still wasn't complete. You know what I'm saying? So they had been through beautiful women, but then they became obsessed with more beautiful women, and you know, at the end of the day, that didn't give them the closure, right, or the fulfillment. And I knew that God was not just here to please me, but to fulfill me. You know what I'm saying? And when you are married with a spouse, you know, that is the greatest form of yourself. I would not be financially successful. I would not be resound in peace if I didn't have fulfillment, right? So, you know, my personality is so atypical, type A personality, like strong, driven, and my wife is so level and gives me such rationality and groundedness, you know, that it gives me that completeness that I need, right? So, you know, when God formats a wife, he specially crafts someone for you, and that's why. Amen. So it's no need to rush. I knew life wasn't gonna be over tomorrow, you know. So I mean, take your time. It's like a good stew. You gotta let that thing marinate. Let them flavors.
Wow.
Team up. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have something that's a lifetime, because you're not gonna just let go of a woman or a man and you waited your whole life. But you let go of a woman that you hit that first night. You know what I'm saying? And that's we talking real. That's why the Bible says when a man finds himself a wife, that he finds himself a good thing. So when I look at people that don't have wives, I know they don't have their good thing, and I pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they black, man, because we have so much pressure, and it's an unweighted situation on so many realms, from people playing mental games with black men to society having systems in place for our destruction, that if you don't have God and a woman of God, you know what I'm saying, your life is gonna be hard, bro, because everything is set up for you to lose. Now on top of that, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately, you might not have a father to model after. So I was so blessed, man. I got a father, I got a grandfather through apostle to model after. My grandfather baptized me in the waters, the cooling water. In the cooling waters. So, you know, we were set up for success from day one. And if I tell my children anything, there is a reason that God sets up a relationship in a specific way.
That's right.
Build a building talking about you gonna start on the 13th, 14th, 15th floor, right? You gotta build it on solid ground. And if it ain't built right, it will crash, right? So when you see relationships crash, the first thing I want to ask is forensic architectures. They want to know, how is the foundation faulty?
That was the foundation. That's it.
So, you know, focus on your foundation. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else will be added unto. You know, everything else will be added unto.
Well,
and you going back to the question, what sealed the deal for me, is because I knew he was a man of God, and he put his own needs aside to make a sacrifice for me, a high school 17-year-old young lady. He prayed and fasted for, you know, so I knew that right then and there, that was someone that I would want to build a life with, and that he had not only my best interest at heart, but just he wanted to grow spiritually together. And
now go ahead, finish your point.
And he knew he was battle tested. He knew what needed to be done to get through challenges. And that to me is a person or a man that you want to build a life with.
If you enjoy what we do here on this channel of Father's Note, we would ask that you would subscribe, like, comment, and share. Until then, thank you. We'll see you in the next video.